Hi, I'm Julian, and I've been surviving on this one chunk Minecraft world for a little while now, and I've come pretty far. Let me take you back to the start, and show you how I got where I am now. It's been a bumpy ride, full of ups and some really weird downs, so buckle up and enjoy the video. When I made this world, I chose a jungle biome. And I also made sure the Nether had a fortress in the border. Everything else I knew nothing about though, so there might not even be a single diamond vein in this entire world, which would suck. I started off the world by, you guessed it, punching a tree. I got myself some wood tools, then I realized I should probably establish myself a food source, since I don't see any animals in this world. I found myself some melons, then a quick wadsy moment later, and I had myself a small little melon farm. Since we're doing the farming thing right now, I also wanted to plant some wheat, so I touched some grass to get myself some seeds to plant. And now it's time for some stone tools, and with those stone tools, I'm clearing the way for a much bigger and better farm. Melons don't really cut it as a good food source, so I need this larger farm or else I'm gonna starve. But because I'm smart and a really good Minecraft player, instead of making my much needed farm, I decided to go mining. But not your typical mining. I dug down and I literally just mined gravel. All in all, I got about 3 stacks. Don't ask me why I decided to get all this gravel, but all I can say is that I ended up finding a really good use for it later on, so I guess it wasn't a complete waste of time. After realizing what a weird decision I just made, it was time to actually do something productive, and make a bigger and better farm. Okay, now that the newly upgraded farm is complete, I wanted to make my land a bit prettier, so I burned down some trees that were just outside the border looking ugly. Fire can spread outside the border, which is super useful since you can't break blocks outside of it. It was around this time that I realized that I needed a mob farm if I was ever going to get a villager in this world. To cure a zombie villager, you need a spider eye, brown mushroom, and sugar to craft a fermented spider eye. When I was mining for gravel earlier, I came across some brown mushrooms, so we can cross that off the list. You then put the fermented spider eye into a brewing stand with some water bottles and make a potion of weakness. And lastly, some gunpowder to make it a splash potion. Witches are going to be the most important mob to kill since they drop sugar, glass bottles, and gunpowder. So already, almost every ingredient aside from the brown mushrooms and the brewing stand we can get from the mob farm. So it was a no-brainer for me to make this thing. Oh, and also, we need 2 golden apples, which is not going to be easy to get, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. For the mob farm, I wanted to build it up high, but I didn't have a good method of getting up high without wasting a ton of blocks. So I realized that I could glitch out of the border using a boat, and climb up the vines on this tree. As long as I don't go more than 5 blocks away from the border, I won't take any damage, but I still can place or break blocks out here, which is fine though, because that's part of the challenge. Once I made it to the top of this tree, I had the last minute idea to make myself a bamboo farm, so I built an ugly little dirt and cobblestone box in the corner of the world up here. And it was from this area that I decided to build my mob farm from. I'm using the tried and tested, quick and dirty mob farm that almost everyone makes in their worlds as a beginning farm. This one is super easy to make. All you need is blocks, water, and trapdoors. It's that simple. I had to make multiple trips back underground during this construction process, since I ended up needing a lot more blocks than I had anticipated. It got to the point where I just decided to make a cobblestone generator and AFK for a little bit so I wouldn't have to worry about getting more blocks. It was at this moment that I realized how small this world really is. I'm already out of space up here making this farm, and I had to use signs at the center to keep the water from flowing down the drop shaft. The farm should work the exact same with these signs though, so I don't think it's too big of a deal. I completed the mob farm, then started using it right away. But I started to notice a problem. Mobs were spawning way slower than they should be. I lit up the only 2 caves in this world already, so something must be going on inside the farm. I broke into it to check it out, and realized that there were literally only spiders left in the farm holding up the mob cap, so no other mobs could spawn. I went through and killed them all, and everything seemed to be working just fine again. It's not too big of a deal right now, cause I need the strings and spider eyes anyways, so I ended up just going up every now and then to kill off the spiders and make the farm run faster. The next few days were pretty boring and repetitive, so here's what I did in a 10-second recap. Expand. Farm. Kill. Die. Remember all that gravel from the first day? Well, come to find out, it makes a great block to tower up with, since you can place a torch underneath it and instantly take down your tower. Now it was back to the same old routine. Farm. Kill. Die. Chaos! When I was clearing out the mob farm one fateful day, I died and accidentally left the trapdoors open. That meant that every single mob that would have been falling down the chute was now stuck up inside the farm. which ended up being a total disaster. A creeper ended up exploding because a skeleton shot it, then all the mobs started flowing out all over the world. So I jumped down to take care of it, and more mobs started spawning. So I died, like 8 times. One of my chests got exploded, and I lost some precious dirt to a creeper explosion. It was a total mess, but I was finally able to get it under control by putting some holes in the roof of the mob farm, and this stopped any more mobs from spawning. Now I can go through and kill the rest of the mobs and get this thing all patched up. While I was fixing the farm though, I noticed that all the zombies in the farm had turned to drown since they were underwater. And when I killed them, I got a copper ingot. I'm definitely gonna have to find a way to capitalize on this, since I don't think there's too much copper in this world. After that extremely stressful situation, I decided to take a break and relax with some good old tree burning. This tree got blown up partially by a creeper, and since I can't place blocks outside the border, it's gonna look ugly forever. So I'm gonna burn it down so I don't have to look at it anymore. I got outside the border, then used some weird block placements to get the fire to spread outside the border. It wasn't really working that well, and I ended up with this. This is so much uglier than it was before. Why did I decide to do this? After that somewhat relaxing experience though, it was back to the grind. When I was mining my gravel way earlier, I also found some iron. Now I have enough to make some hoppers. So I can AFK and make pure stonks at this mob spawner. A few hours of very exciting AFKing go by, and I finally get 2 sugar. I'm one step closer to being able to get these zombie villagers. Things are looking great. I take a quick second to get all of my chests organized because we're about to go on an adventure. Just kidding, I'm going mining, but for gold. We need gold to make our golden apples to cure the zombie villagers. Sadly, since this world is only 1 chunk, there might not even be 1 gold in this entire world. I mined through an entire inventory's worth of stone pickaxes, and I only found 1 6 vein. This is alright though, since we can just get the gold from the Nether. But it's a bit of an inconvenience since the Nether is really dangerous. But I'm sure we'll be okay though. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We gotta finish mining first. I found lots of iron, which is amazing, and also diamonds. I thought it was just a 1 vein at first, but digging around and I can see at least 3 diamonds, which is awesome. All I really need is just 3 diamonds, 2 for an enchanting table and 1 for a jukebox, but I'm gonna wait until I can get a Fortune 3 pickaxe to mine all of them. That way I can maximize my diamonds. I mined through everything in the gold region of the overworld, so now it was time for me to go to the Nether. I didn't have a diamond pickaxe yet, so I carried the lava buckets to the surface and made a portal using water, turning lava into obsidian. Now it's time to go through. Since mobs can't spawn within 24 blocks of the player, I think I should be fine when I first load in. Here we are, and I go straight to the area where the nether wart is. This is my only source of nether wart, so I wanted to make sure it was safe. After securing the nether wart, I spammed some torches to hopefully stop some mobs from spawning. But who am I kidding? I have no idea how mob spawning works in the nether. It was time to get to work. I mined down below the fortress to find some gold veins, and all I found was a whole lot of nothing. Netherrack, magma, lava, ancient debris. Wait, ancient debris? It's only 1 though, and I really hope there's at least 3 more, because I want to make at least 1 thing on this world netherite. Comment down below what it should be, and I'll pick the most liked comment if there's enough to craft a netherite ingot. As I started to mine deeper and deeper, I started hearing some piglins above me. This is not good. That means there's probably loads of mobs on top of the fortress too. Mobs really just hate me in this world for some reason. After duking it out with some piglins underground, I make my way to the surface, and what is this? I literally just made a hoglin farm without even trying. This is so cursed. I also decide to kill some zombified piglin to hopefully get some easy gold, but I turned up empty-handed. I think it's time to go to the surface and see what horrors await me. And oh yes, they were horrors indeed. But since I'm an expert procrastinator, I'll deal with this later. But just as I think I'm getting away without a scratch, surprise! A blaze was there to greet me. Kill me. Oh, and would you look at that? The forest is burning down too. I just love the Nether. In all seriousness though, I have no idea why there were 5 blazes that decided to come to the overworld. This world really just has it out for me, doesn't it? I finally killed the remaining blazes, and take a look at the carnage around me. I brew up the weakness potions we'll need for the first step of curing the zombie villager, then craft some iron armor with the limited iron I have. You'll see how much this ends up helping. I go through the portal, ready to take on the Nether, feeling real strong. I tower up, and oh, well, that iron armor was definitely useful. Totally not a waste of iron that I could have used for something much more useful, like, I don't know, a pickaxe? I go back to get my stuff, but decide to play it safe this time, and just go mining instead. And it paid off. I found another vein of gold. We're getting super close to having all the gold we need to cure this zombie villager. But, me being me, I decided to start killing all the mobs that spawn on top of the fortress, thinking that that's going to do anything. Out of all the mob killing though, this was my favorite part. I towered up with some walls on my sides to keep me safe, then I sniped the blazes that spawned below me with my bows. I felt like a real archer, perched up on a tower, shooting my enemies below. It was quite epic. The bow turned out to be really useful in this expedition to get rid of the nether mobs, since hoglins have a reach axe. I could literally just stand on top of them and bow spam. All this mob killing was dangerous, and I died quite a lot, but I did get a bunch of blaze rods though, and almost a stack of pork chops, so all in all, I think it was worth it. And after all that chaos, I finally had enough gold to make a golden apple, the last step to curing a zombie villager. I hopped out of the nether and went to the mob farm to make a trapdoor platform that I can close to prevent mobs from dying when they fall. This way, all the mobs can survive the fall, and everything that isn't a zombie villager, I can open a trapdoor and let it drop down to die. The next day, I got a zombie villager to spawn, and it was time to lure it out of the farm so I could cure it. Everything has gone so horribly wrong in this world that I wouldn't be surprised if this thing just despawns in front of my eyes or something crazy. But luck was on my side today. I was able to put it into a box just outside the farm, and finally, after 53 Minecraft days, I had achieved the goal I've been working towards this entire video, a cured zombie villager. Now all I need is one more, and I can breed villagers for infinite profits. I was so happy about my villager that I boxed it in to keep it safe, but forgot about one critical thing. Can you see where I went wrong? Yep, that's right. I forgot to place a torch inside the villager's box. So I think you can see where this is going. And yeah, my villager that I just spent the past 10 hours grinding for is now a zombie villager again. I think I'm gonna go cry now. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, comment, and subscribe to make me feel better. Thanks for watching. Bye!